Coach, at what point, I know it's probably a little bit deeper when the season gets here, but at what point do you kind of look at your running backs room, and I know injuries can play a part too, but determine who may play this year or who may redshirt?
Yeah, I think it's play them all in the beginning. You know, if they can help us on the field and they're physically ready to go and mentally ready to go, we're going to play those guys. And then kind of as it wears along after the out-of-conference games, kind of how are they performing, how are they executing. But right now from top to bottom, you know, I have 6 guys. I'm actually picking up a 7th guy, another kind of preferred walk-on guy this week. But the 6 guys we have in our room right now, I mean, I feel good about all those guys playbook-wise and the effort that they're giving. Obviously the top 2 guys have been kind of head and shoulders, you know, doing what they're supposed to be doing and making some plays for us. So excited about that. And then bringing up those 2 young guys and the 2 older junior college guys we have been fantastic through camp as well.
How have Hargrove and Price handled camp and picking the offense up?
Yeah, you know, they're freshmen. So, you know, Woody had a chance last year to come in mid-year, and Dylan was in a good room too. A lot of competition, so those guys came along pretty quick. I think you know, Simeon's really a high football IQ guy, so he's stays late in meetings, asks a lot of good questions. Picking up now, it's just a matter of doing it fast on the field. Bull, kind of the same thing. Can give you all the answers to the plays. Now it's just a matter of executing fast, and when he plays fast, he's pretty fast.
With Woody and Dylan, you know, some of the leadership that they maybe stepped up with, having some more experience. I mean, do you see guys like Price and Hargrove kind of mimicking that a little bit? Do you see like parts of Woody and what they do as well?
Yeah, they're already making nicknames for the young guys, which is, you know, they're not that old to do that, but you gotta let it eat a little bit, you know. So, you know, we got little Woody, you know, because Bull's wearing number 21, and you know, that kind of thing. So they're kind of poking fun at each other, but they're 2 great examples to have. You know, Dylan brings a lot of energy and they're really charismatic, so he's got that. And Woody is as a professional, you know, does it by example. It's a really good combination with those 2 guys, are the ones that are, you know, kind of spearheading our running back room. So it's a good 2 good role models to have in there.
What have you thought of the pass blocking overall for the guys that you have?
Yeah. So that's one thing good with the freshmen too. That's probably the last piece. You know, to kind of follow back on that question is to make sure they can go in there and stand up a blitzing linebacker. But both the young guys are willing to do that. So now it's just my job to coach them up, make sure the technique's right, make sure they're bringing all they have. But as far as the first 2 guys go, I mean, been impressive. You know, from year 1 to year 2 of those guys taking on our linebackers, and our linebackers are pretty good blitzers themselves. So if they can block them, I'm pretty confident.
Speaking particularly with Woody, what's the biggest stride that maybe you've made from year 1 to year 2 when you've watched him this summer?
Yeah, you know, just I think he packed on some pounds, you know. So, you know, Woody last year was a little more of the flashier, you know, kind of slasher, a little more dynamic. But now he can run through some people, you know. And then Dylan kind of the opposite, a little more of the pounder, but now all of a sudden he can make some people miss in space, and his burst looks a little bit better. So they both had a mission in the offseason to kind of improve on some things. I think they both did that.
Was there a moment like you saw them and you're like, oh, like they really put in work? Like, was there a moment that it kind of clicked for both of them in your eyes? Or?
I think it just kind of happens, you know. It's just a process, and day by day, and then you know, kind of us being away in the summertime when you come back. You know, I think too, Woody looked like you got stung by a bee a little bit, kind of swole up a little bit, and then you know, Dylan all of a sudden, you know, we start putting the pads back on, and he's kind of outrunning some people, or you know, guys coming up with air on a tackle. Kind of okay, that's how it's supposed to look now, you know.